2 weeks.
Well, maybe there was a difference.
There was definitely
a difference in the product itself. So maybe
there was definitely a difference.
Hi.
Good morning. I'm sorry. Good afternoon.
Well, it is sort of morning for us. It used to be deep afternoon, and good afternoon and happy Monday.
Kevin. That is.
Are we starting off the? We're starting off the show with this. Are we really? We're going to start off. We're going to start off the show.
And this is why.
Typical Yankee fan.
Yep.
Yeah. See, Kevin, you have an opportunity to make friends today, and you're going to start us off on the wrong foot. Well, welcome to Live from Rabs, inside a very dark, closed, insane asylum.
It's still crazy in here, even though there's nobody here.
It really is.
Just actually between Frankie and I, there's insanity that goes on, and we're just catching up on the craziness of the week.
Oh, look at this! We have breaking news from Dennis. The Nielsen report came out. Live from Rabs in the top 10 shows of 2020.
Well, I will tell you, we probably are in the top 10 shows in number of episodes.
We definitely are.
Number of live episodes for sure.
Kenny, I don't know if it's really comparative to the rest of the week. It might be cold outside.
Oh, this is going to be it has been a brutal. This is they said one of the speaking of the top whatever, the fourth warmest year ever so far, and it's not even close to over. It was the warmest winter, one of the warmest winters, and so far this stretch of weather that we've had, they said, so it's made it the fourth warmest so far.
And they said, welcome 2020
with
open arms.
You gotta love
happy 2020. It can't be over. I mean, it's still March. So if March doesn't end, 2020 can't end. So when New Year's Eve is going to be what? March 300 something.
This is really.
Yeah, sadly, we were so excited about getting baseball started, and for us Met fans, we got a little blow the last couple of days.
But listen, so why should this year
be different
than any other year as a Met fan?
It's very true.
Oh my God!
Oh, now you're dropping.
My guys are falling. Prison Mike.
You're right. Prison Mike. You're right. We shouldn't have high expectations. Should be set. We know the deal. At the same time, we're ready. The 60 games. We want to be excited. We were excited. We were 1-0.
We had a good start. But the Mets have like the best record in Major League Baseball on opening day.
They do.
They have some ridiculous record, which is great.
And sadly, it doesn't necessarily show. We had a lot of records. You look at what DeGrom has done over the last so many seasons.
Amazing.
You look at our DH, the first home run as a DH in Major League Baseball, in the National League. I mean, we're doing things. We just can't piece it all together. Sadly, though, baseball's didn't start off on the right step today.
There's some scary stuff going on a little bit. Hi, Robert.
So, 8 players tested positive. 8 Marlins players tested positive. The Yankee-Philly game canceled because of that. The Phillies were traveling. So, we want what's best for everybody. And I have to say, I'm watching the games. It's a little interesting.
I would love to talk to a player and see what it's like for them. It really struck me.
We'll tell Figgy to get one of his friends at some point.
I will.
and come and talk with us.
Because especially a younger, more or less emotional team like the Mets, when you have to overcome a large deficit in a game like that, I think you kind of feed on the crowd energy for like a little rally, and it's gotta be
a crowd.
So strange. Yeah, somebody posted yesterday that the Mets were so bad that the cardboard cutouts were getting up and leaving, which actually was funny. But
so they're piping in the sound of a crowd.
Yeah.
For us, and it's every game is the same noise. It's that rustle, hustle, bustle. Yeah. I don't know. Occasionally you hear like a beer guy. Yeah,
whatever noise.
I actually don't like it. I think it's weird because it's static throughout the whole game. So you're watching the game, it's a static sound in the background.
There's no ebb and flow of what you would actually hear.
No. And then I love how they pipe in the let's go.
I haven't heard that.
They're still playing. They're playing the fan sounds. Yeah, it is interesting.
I actually wanted to, because 2 of the Mets' 3 games were on ESPN, and not that I'm not a fan of their announcers, but you know, one of them was in the ESPN headquarters in Bristol, Connecticut. Also they had one of them in Atlanta, and then somebody else, maybe he was in Boston or wherever it was, and that's how they did the play-by-play. So, I mean, that in itself is a little odd.
Yeah, it's odd.
So I for a while, I turned down the sound on the TV and I listened to the radio so I could hear my Met broadcasters.
Oh, they're probably the best in baseball. Fox Saturday is putting virtual fans. That'll be interesting.
Somebody said one of the teams was talking about doing, maybe it was Baltimore, a fan of the game. So they would let one fan come to the game.
I don't know how I'd feel about that.
I don't know how I feel.
Just don't let Mickey Endress be that fan.
Because he is a mush. So
yeah. Hey, so before we move on from baseball, I want to share this one. Did you see this? This is a cardboard cutout at Citi Field.
No. Oh yes, I did see it. They talked a lot about that.
Yeah, good. Do we really need him mushing us?
But is his dog there too?
The dog is there too.
Yes.
Anybody can pay $86.
Larry.
I thought it was pretty funny.
But you know, he is a
somebody
big
might
fan.
Be at the door.
He is a big fan of the of the New York area. So
he is.
So he felt like it was appropriate to have a cardboard cutout.
That's right. It's cool.
I don't listen. He was I think with him it was a healthy rivalry. It was not well liked.
Oh, yeah, only the Mets would allow this. I don't know about that. I think it's I have to say I think it's pretty cool.
Oh, I do too. And listen, he, on the broadcast he talked about.
Over the years, I think I've gained more respect.
Yes, about
definitely embarrassing. He embarrassed us for years and celebrated it. At the same time, I think over the years I've developed.
Come to respect his ability.
That might sound crazy coming from a
play in New York, and anyway, for anybody who doesn't know who we're talking about, that's Chipper Jones, Larry, as the Met fans love to call him. But yeah, when he retired, he talked about that they did their farewell tour that are very popular right now.
Hold on a second. This is the 5th phone call from the same number. So
maybe somebody's at the door. We might have a delivery. Anyway, so Chipper Jones talked about how when he retired, they bestowed upon him a gift from his years that he played at Citi Field and Shea Stadium, which he loved, and he was very touched by it. So although we have a love-hate relationship with him, I really was not happy that he was announcing the opening weekend, and maybe that jinxed us a little bit. So other than baseball, we had a busy quiet weekend, and when Frankie comes back, and here he is, maybe we'll.
You know what drives me crazy?
What drives you crazy?
When you don't answer the phone, you must be doing something.
Yes.
Leave a damn message.
No, people don't like to leave messages.
It was nonsense. Nonsense. I'm not answering the phone. I'm leaving it. I'm going to make sure I save that number, so I don't answer the phone ever when that person calls.
Although sometimes I don't leave a message when that happens, but I don't call back again. I just
5 times.
To me, I just go, you know what?
Obviously, you're not answering the phone for a reason.
Call back later.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought it was somebody at the door. Anne, hi, Anne, and happy early birthday to Anne Hastings. Last year, you got to celebrate your birthday with your kids here at the bowling alley a couple times. And before we miss you this week, happy early birthday. Hey, we could talk all day about nonsense. Somebody did, before we bring our guest in, I do want to, thanks, Kevin. Kevin Rourke is now calling.
Because I'm pretty sure the Yankees would take anybody. Oh, he's calling you?
He's calling. That is funny, as he's watching. Somebody did ask about reopening, and so thank you to Joe DiModio and the Staten Island Advance for highlighting our story. If you saw, go to silive.com or our Facebook page here below. Joe DiModio had reached out and wanted to share our frustrations and struggling, and also on the positive side of what's been happening. By the way. So, and the beauty about that is that it's happening in communities throughout the country. So we don't have a clear understanding of when we get to reopen. New York is one of 6 states with bowling centers that are closed. However, there's a concerted effort with bowling proprietors around the state, including this one. I'll share this first. A friend of ours in Breezy Point sent us this photo. He was out on the beach and happened to see this plane flying by. Governor, bring back bowling.
I wonder, did they do that specifically because they feel that Cuomo was maybe sunning himself on a beach somewhere and he's going to see that?
So the idea, yes, I bet you he probably. I would love that if he saw this. I think that would be great.
I think it would be great.
So bowling proprietors in Long Island, headed by the Laspinas, have put an effort together to fly that plane from I think it comes from Coney Island and wherever else.
Oh, so along that whole coast?
Along the coast. The beach was busy yesterday, and it was just an opportunity to get a message across for people to see, and maybe they would write the governor, as we're asking you to. Take a moment, send the governor a note, tell him.
We need bowling open now.
Our facilities are large enough to distance, they're clean, and we're ready to roll to get people back on the lanes. You'll see some social media videos from us and other proprietors throughout the state.
There's a couple of other proprietors that have done some really, really nice videos.
Yeah. Nice. So there's one specific campaign that you probably will start seeing soon. So again, proprietors from across New York State get together. That would happen to be in Long Island, and you just never know what you're going to see. People are sending bowling pins to the governor. So if you want to send a bowling pin to the governor, I would love. He opens up his next press conference with bowling pins in front of the mountain. I was just going to say that. I want that mountain of bowling pins. That mountain of bowling pins to be as big as the mountain. Yeah. I want it to cover his original mountain. Anyway. Hey, so it's Monday. We're kicking off the week with a special guest, our friend Wesley Lowe. I need to say world champion. World champion, highly decorated. Lowe.
Jesus. Hi, guys.
Hey, listen, when people say good things about you, you accept them. And I know you are a very humble person, so it's not always easy to accept compliments, but by all means, an accomplished bowler on the lanes for sure. Wesley, how old are you?
I'm 23.
23, child.
Yeah. And so I met Wesley for the first time. He was about yay big. He's still about, maybe he's about this big now.
Maybe like 6 inches taller, just a slight bit from when I first met you.
Hey, so Wesley, tell us, how are you doing? How are you holding up during all of this happening around us, as we call it here in New York?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like everything going on is absolutely crazy. I mean, I'm from California, so California is, I wouldn't say as bad as you guys, but it's just as crazy as you guys. Like everything got shut down again. They're trying to reopen, but no one knows what to do. Like everyone wants to be open because it helps the economy, it helps businesses, but it's impossible when you get all these restrictions on how to do it. So, I mean, I've been literally living under a rock for the past 4 months, just trying to stay away and just let everything just try to phase out.
Well, it seems like maybe while you were under that rock, somehow you found a way to stay sharp in your bowling game.
Something clicked. It was all the visualization. Everything Coach V taught me. No, I got fortunate actually. Like I was in California because the tour had actually ended in March due to COVID, and Mike Calderon, he was trying to open a training facility for bowlers in the West Coast because no one has seen a training facility. ITRC, Kegel, there's training facilities there, but nothing on the West Coast. So he was working at opening one at B3 Performance, and I'm 5.5, 6 hours away from Phoenix, Tempe area. And he said, kid, come out if you want to practice. And I was being optimistic. I was like, bowling's going to start back up. I should be sharp. Other people seem to be bowling a little bit. So let's try to bowl. So I actually went out. I bowled for a while. And then everything was like completely shut down. The tournaments weren't really happening. So I stopped for a while. And actually before the 900 series, I maybe have bowled a total of 4 times within the 2 months of that span. And I was like, oh my God, that's insane that I didn't bowl that much. And somehow magically something good came of it.
That's incredible in itself. And for someone who bowls often and bowls a lot, right? So you go from, and we've had many guests on the show and we've had the same conversation. Well, how do you stay sharp and then how do you get through it? And so for the few times that you got to bowl, to then have this feat, because we want to talk about that for sure.
Of course, yeah.
That alone, just to get back on the lanes has to be exciting to be able to compete, let alone
sure.
But just to be able to get back on the lanes, what was running through your head?
So I had to go back to Kansas. I had some things to deal with. So I got to practice there just a little bit. I subbed in a league and I'm like, I don't know if I want to sub, but I was like, okay, maybe I should, because I was going to try to bowl some regionals. And, just to be on the lanes, to have that like euphoric vibe again, to like be excited to throw a bowling ball, do what you love, and have that opportunity to do it again. That was awesome that in itself. Like, it's crazy because I spent my whole life since I was 3 years old. I've been in the bowling center. I've been practicing. I've been bowling. And to have a break this long is insane to me. And the only other time I ever had a break this long, I broke my wrist from wrestling in high school in like 2011 or 2012. So I had a cast on. I couldn't bowl, and I wanted to bowl. Like, I was a young kid. All I knew was bowling. So all I did was bowl. And to not bowl then was like, all right, I'm ready to get back on the lanes. And then this is the longest break since then. And I wanted to get back on the lanes. I wanted to throw bowling balls. I didn't know how good it was going to be, but I just wanted to throw some bowling balls again.
I could see your mother yelling at you while you broke your wrist during that time frame. I could see.
At some point where you felt you could still get the ball on your hands despite the fact that you had a cast on?
I might have tried a couple of times to like go into the motions. It didn't work too well. My hand was long and the stand was too long, but.
Yeah, and so I've had the opportunity to meet Wesley while competing in the Junior Gold Championship, and
star.
He's a rock star, I should say. And his mother, when you have a very, and I don't want to speak for you, and I want to ask you about this too. When you have a very supportive support system, it makes the world for you. And so to have a support system like you've had. And at 23, I think you probably have more of appreciation for it because of what you achieved. But your support system alone has to mean so much to you. And I can
100%.
see the dynamic that you have, which is pretty cool.
100%. I agree to that. Like it honestly, and someone talked to me. They hadn't seen me in a while, and they're like, "Man, you've grown up to be a really good young man." Like, and I'm like, I don't know. I feel like I'm still a kid, but like I appreciate that very much. And I told them, I said it has to come back from my parents. Like my mom and dad were super strict on me. It was education first, but they wanted to make sure I became the best person I could, and they wanted to do everything they could to make sure that I never got in trouble. I didn't do anything wrong. Obviously, sometimes you slip every once in a while, but it was all about doing everything that you can to be the best person that you could be. Like honestly. Parents wanted me to have a job. They didn't want me to be a professional bowler, even though I had bowled my whole life. So that's crazy in itself. Like that's a different story about how I ended up being a professional bowler. But they supported me this whole way, and I'm really thankful for that. Because if it wasn't for them, I might just be working at McDonald's. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but like I'll be working at McDonald's, or I don't have a degree, or I'm still in school. I'm doing my master's right now. Like there's so many things that I've had an opportunity, and I'm very blessed for my parents for how they raised me and what they allowed me to do. And, I think the support system's a huge thing. I also said, it comes back to my friends. My friends were kind of mean. Like, I don't know if I'm allowed to curse on this podcast, but okay. They were assholes to me. And they'll even say it. They're like, they knew I was a little better than them, but I think I worked a little harder. They knew I was better than them, but they would come to me and be like, you stink. You're a terrible bowler. And you got lucky, but they would mean it in a good way. Like they kept me humble as well. Like I never had, and I never never like to think I would have an ego. No matter how much success I'll ever have, I'll never have an ego. I always look back at my upcomings and upbringings and the people that I was surrounded by, and all of them never gave me an ego. They always put me down, and they're so mean.
Just in case it was there, they made sure they pushed it down.
Exactly. Oh, you shot 300? It's all right. You still stink anyways.
As they patted the little guy on the head.
Exactly.
And you know, he's got a great personality. So when you see that amongst his friends, it totally makes sense. And you know, that's the support system on the lanes that you need. You need to have your friends. And without that, you certainly couldn't do what you want to do. Hey, so I'm going to come back to your mom because I love her dearly. I think she's an amazing person. And I've seen her highs and lows, whether she's, and I mean, pun intended, yelling at you and then being supportive, and then being frustrated with you at the same time because he knows what to do. Why can't he do it? So talk about making that. You are a product of the programming, right? So you've made your way through, and now you've decided to go on tour. What was that? You had to make a tough decision, right? Becomes a livelihood. That becomes something that you're going to achieve. And at 20 something years old, because you're on tour, what, a year or two now? 3 years.
What do you mean?
How many years on tour?
Oh, this is like 6 months.
Yeah,
7 months.
You're 23 years old making a decision. Hey, we're going to go out on tour. Walk us through that a little bit. And then, did she smack you?
No. Not anymore. Now that I'm a little older. But I mean, like, to preface it a little bit, like, you know my mom and you described it, like, my mom doesn't like bowling. And it's not that she doesn't like bowling. I think it makes her nervous and gives her a little too much anxiety. She's a typical parent. And like, there were times where she's sleeping as far away from possible, not even watching me bowl. Like, that's my mother. Like, there's a video of her, like, I'm about to shoot 300, I think, at the World Championships, and she's just sleeping in the chair like this. Like, maybe she's not sleeping, but she's just closing her eyes, and she's just like this with her jacket on. And I'm like, Mom, I'm about to shoot 300 at the World Championships. Where are you? But no, like, my parents, and maybe it's the Asian in them, right? Because, you know, tiger moms and stuff. But they were big on education my whole life. You know, they wanted me to focus on school. As a reward, bowling was an option. I got to bowl if my schoolwork was good or if I was doing well in school. Same thing with high school sports. Same thing with, you know, outside sports. And that's their big thing. My mom, big on education. She never wanted me to have a social life. Just go to school, get your degree, and then go work a job. My dad, he thought that if I was in sports, it would keep me out of trouble. So if I had an athletic activity, whether it was swimming, cross country, he put me in tennis for a while. If I was doing that, I couldn't get in trouble because I'm always surrounded by doing something good. And so they both wanted me to bowl, or my dad really loved me bowling and he loved other sports. So I went through that. In high school, my dad said, do you want to play high school sports? And I'm like, I like running. I never wrestled, but he wrestled in high school. And he's like, hey, man, that could be a good opportunity. Maybe you'll like it. So I said, okay, I'll go wrestle in high school and let's see what happens. And I wanted to play other sports, but that's when bowling started becoming a factor. Like, the summer tournaments would come up. So now it's time to get sharp and focused. He really wanted me to play tennis. Like, that was his big thing. And I played tennis. I know how to play, but I never played in high school. And whether I was in JV or varsity, it didn't matter. I would work my butt off to try to be the best. But so high school, you know, we were bowling every weekend. I had my high school athletics. I had my schooling. And they just said, you know, education, just get your high school degree. She loves my mom. Yes, that's right. But get your high school degree and go to college, and we'll figure it out from there. So I get the high school degree. It's a game time decision on my plan of what I want to do in college because, you know, I'm an okay bowler, but I really want a degree, and I kind of wanted to stay in California. Like, I wanted to go to like UCLA. That was like a dream school for me. Like, my cousin went there, and I wanted to go to UCLA. But Dad was like, hey, maybe you want to go bowl. So I kind of made that decision of college bowling. I asked a bunch of friends. They said, you know, it's a once in a lifetime experience. You don't experience anything like it. And so I went to college bowling, and my mom said, okay, you better study well. You better do a good job. You're going to be far from me. I want to make sure you get your degree. Like, I can't watch what you're doing. So don't do anything crazy. And so mother agrees to it. I don't think she liked it in the beginning. Dad said, you know, enjoy, go bowl, enjoy your time, do well in school. That's all I ask for you. The other thing he actually told me, my dad's pretty stoic. Like, you know, my dad, he actually told me, he's like, if you get a girlfriend, if you fall in love with her, just don't go crazy like after you like break up with her. That was his advice. He said, enjoy your time, and if you get a girlfriend, just make sure on this. And I'm like, okay, Dad, I'll make sure. But so like, and so that happened, and you know, my mom's obviously on the other side of the country, and she's concerned because she doesn't know what I'm doing. And like, I would text them all the time, like, hey, I just got an A in this test, or I'm doing really well. I got on the honor system, or whatever, the honor roll, or whatever the school said. And so they were proud. So like over time, they learned that they could trust me being on my own as far away as I was. And they were always excited when I told them good news about school, because that was their thing. It was school, mainly school.
That's a good thing. That's a happy medium, though, because you need everybody needs both, especially if you're going to commit yourself to something. And you know, as much as you may say that she was sleeping, she knew everything.
She did.
I would love. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, she would go up to random people, just like she said to you. I didn't know she went up to you. She was just like, what's he doing? What's wrong with him? Like, he needs to do better than this.
Yeah. You would open up, everybody would open up to her, because she'd walk around in frustration. She's like, I know he's better than that. But then at the same time, then she'd come and brag. So I'll never forget standing at one of the bowling centers during Junior Gold, and she comes up and opens up this conversation. And I'm going, is he really bowling that bad? She goes, no, but I can't watch it because my nerves are shot. And so you have both of that, and that's what, again, you need to have that, which is so important to development. That
background and the education, it kind of helps to keep you grounded and not kind of feel that bowling is the only thing in your life, and you know, and if this doesn't work out, well, what am I going to do? Because you always have something to come back on. And as a parent, you know that these things are going to be important later on in your life. So kudos to your mom.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, kudos to your mom.
We all need some hands in our life.
Yes.
My dad was that way to an extent, but at the same time, he'd sit there and go, okay, did you learn anything from this experience? I'd come home and she'd go, well, how you doing? She wouldn't have to ask because she already knew,
right.
Just based on what was going on.
Right.
Hey, question from the audience here.
Yes.
Where'd you go? Where'd you go for?
Wichita State.
If you were paying attention, you went back to Kansas.
I'm still in Kansas technically, but yeah.
So how was it like bowling for two of the most prolific college coaches in probably college history? How was that?
Yeah. It was crazy. I hate them. No, I'm just kidding. I don't hate them, but obviously, like, it's a different experience, and this is something in bowling that we don't really see very often, is that team bowling aspect. And they're amazing coaches. You could compare them the same way as like Coach K. Like, they've been there forever running this program to have the success they have. So there's a system. There's a aura within the program that you should follow and feel when you're there. And their history of good bowlers is extensive. Like Barnes, Frankie, Rash, just to name a couple. Like, it's crazy that they build you to become a good bowler and you respect them for that. And, you know, I kind of learned team play from like wrestling and cross country because it's a team effort. Everything's a team effort. But like I said earlier, like, bowling isn't always a team sport at the highest level anymore. Like, there's certain things like Team USA, you know, open championships, but you don't live and die with these friends or teammates all year long. And, you know, that's what Coach V and Coach L taught me. And, you know, I got a lot of bowling from them. Right? Like, I got a lot of experience in learning because they were great bowlers in their own right. And what they've done for that program is absolutely amazing. What I learned the most, though, from them is team play, you know, because that's your work environment. In the future, it's a team effort in everything you do. But I learned how to be a better person because their whole thing is molding kids to be better, you know, as they say, students, athletes, and people. I might have butchered that a little bit, but it's something along those lines. And that's what I learned the most from them. I learned how to do that. I learned to be a better team player. I think I'm a better person now than when I went to college. Like, I talk better now. Like, I don't know if you remember, but when I was a young kid, you know, talking wasn't my skill. Like, I would just kind of be like, oh, hi, how you doing? And now, like, I think I'm a little better at communicating with others. And my bowling game has improved from them. A couple of things that I didn't like, and obviously I fought Coach L for that a lot of times. But, you know, it still shaped me. Like, the adversity that happened has shaped me to become who I am now as well. So it's cool. I respect Coach V and Coach L so much. And what I've learned is I'll never forget it.
Great. Well, and if you've watched Wesley Bowl, he's one of those young stars that have embraced a different style.
Yeah.
And so at the same time, you go and bowl there, and you've got these great coaches behind you. Okay, hey, what do I do with this? And you've done a very good job at mastering your craft, so to speak, and that style. But were you concerned that they'd want to change you?
No, in the beginning, no. Because I was open-minded. My dad even said it. He said, you got to be open-minded going into this program, because I don't know what happens within the program. You only get what you get during your visit. You kind of hear from the people what it's like. And I didn't know what to expect. So I went in with open arms, or open-minded. And, you know, Coach L started working on my game. And I was like, I don't really like it. And then so we fought for maybe my first 6 months. I was like listening, and then a little at the end, I'm like, I don't know how well this is working. So we fought for a while. And Coach V was like, just trust the process, trust everything. And, you know, I went back to my coach at home, Baker, and we worked together, or Mark Baker, and we worked together. And, you know, but then over the time, it started shifting. I think Coach L started understanding my game better. He understood what we needed to do to fix it. And then it started becoming a cohesive unit when we started working on my game during the lessons. So I think, you know, it was the process that we had to follow. It might have put me back a little bit, but at the same time, the process ended up helping the overall picture of the game, you know?
So if anybody's listening, listen to what he just said.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, you have to embrace it. At the same time, it might take you back before you can go forward.
Right. And it's a process. I mean, you sometimes you have to go backward, like he said, to rebuild the foundation so that it's stronger when you build on top of it. And yeah, there are probably some changes that are going to be made, and changes for most people, especially when you have success like he did when he was younger, you're resistant to it because you're like, but I'm doing okay. Why would I want to change this? Or this feels comfortable. But you got to trust the process sometimes. And a lot of it is communication. Like you said, you know, communicate back and forth. And that's why I love those coaches, because they are experts at communicating the message to different people in different ways. And that's so important. Yeah.
Coach V is really good at it. You could give him a rock and he'll somehow like tell you how this rock could be like the best rock you've ever seen in your life. And he could talk about it for about 3 hours. It's the craziest thing.
Yes. Yes. If anybody's had conversation with Coach
V, he uses a lot of words too.
and that's what made him.
Yes.
He finally retired. Yeah. Although I know it's hard for him to kind of be retired.
Yes.
Look at what
he built.
Yeah. You say the George Steinbrenner of college bowling. I mean, at this same time, he really, as a coach, and he takes pride. Yeah. Melissa is on our team, and she went there and she chased that, and she says it all the time. I learned from the best, and that's what I wanted to do. And so now take that experience. At 16 years old, you get to be on Junior Team USA, and you get to go compete in World Championships. Which at that age you start at the PAPCON level, but right. You're representing the United States of America at such a young age. Junior Team USA. Take us. What did that mean to you then? And what does it mean to you now? Because you've continued and you've bowled. Now you've continued to bowl your way onto that team.
Team USA.
Yeah. So to start that, like, I didn't know what Team USA was my first junior gold. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't know. Like, it wasn't that I was sheltered. I didn't know about all of that stuff. Like, I didn't know you can make Junior Team USA. You can bowl for your country. I wasn't really aware of it. I wasn't conscious of it. The person that actually introduced it to my parents was Dino Bidwell, Devin's dad. And he kind of told us, like, my kid's on Team USA. This guy is doing some crazy things. He's going to the World Championships. But it wasn't until that day when I was actually sitting next to EJ Tackett. And I'm like, hey, man, are they going to pick you? Like, you're a good bowler. And he's like, no, I don't think I bowled good enough. But then I also looked up to Andrew Koff, and I would talk to him a little bit. Like, and I'm just this little kid. I don't think they know who I am. And it inspired me to be on Team USA. I was like, this is an awesome opportunity. If you can make Team USA, you're representing your country in bowling, in a sport. Like, I didn't know that was possible. Like people know that when they go like in gymnastics or other sports, like they know that they can do that at a young age. I didn't know that. And so it kind of motivated me and drove me to want to be on this team. As little knowledge as I had, now I have more because I'm a little older and I've experienced it, but it drove me to be on this team. So when I made the team the very first time, it was in Sunset Station. I was 15 or 16 years old. I'm not really sure, but I was like, I did it. And my dad was like, my dad gave me a fist bump because that's how my dad is. He gave me a fist bump. He's like, I'm proud of you. Good job. Way to go. And like, I didn't know. Like, I thought that was the craziest thing. I am on Team USA. All my friends in high school, they barely knew I was a bowler. And when they found out, they were amazed. They were like, you're representing your country. You're bowling on Team USA. And I'm like, huh, I never thought of it that way. And so it drove me though. It drove me to become a better bowler because then it drove me, I want to be in this program as long as I can. I want to represent. I want to do the best I can. I want to be the best bowler I can. I want to win medals. And it drove me to be a better bowler and learn more to be the best. And so I think you asked like how did it feel being at the World Championships at a young age, right? Something like that. Like it didn't set in because I'm 16 or 17 years old at the time. I'm still a young kid. I don't even have my driver's license yet. I'm still in high school. Like all I hear about are these old people or older people within the age bracket that are bowling these tournaments. And it's 3 kids under the age of 18, not in college yet, going to another country across the world to represent their country. That is the craziest thing you can ever think of at that age. Like I'm just trying to like get an A in a class or something, or like wrestle for my high school, like not actually go across the world to try to represent your country and win gold medals. It's nothing like you can ever think of. It's nothing you could ever believe or imagine when you're at that young age.
So is that the point, or at some point before that, where you seeked out Mark Baker to coach you, or was it earlier than that?
It was earlier than that. I want to say I was 12. My dad at some point realized I can't help you. Like he always helped me with like spare techniques, and he would help me like with lane play and bowling balls. Like he kind of understood that. He knew what to do, and we'd fight each other on that. Like that's how it always worked. But he also said, I can't help you with your physical game. I don't know any more about how to fix you or try to improve you. So he started seeking out coaches, and gentleman by the name of Mark Baker, kind of, I don't remember if he had an ad or what it was, but he has something out there that he's a coach and he's doing all these lessons. My dad finds him and reaches out to him, and he says, will you be willing to coach my kid? He says, I do lessons in Valencia, which is about 45 minutes from me. I can put you in for an hour slot. We go to the first lesson. We hit it off. My dad loved Baker, and we just kept going from there. And so I'm like maybe 12, 13. So I'm leaving middle school to go to these lessons on a Thursday afternoon. And I'm like, I don't want to go to this lesson. My dad's like, you got to go. You got to go. And then when we get done with the lesson, he says, write down everything Baker said. Whatever Baker said, write it down on this notepad and remember what he told you. And so it started there. And then as I slowly got better and developed, we started ramping up what I was learning and what I was going to do. And it just continued and parlayed from there.
That's what, and Bakes is an awesome coach.
He is, yes.
Travel the world and
he is great
teaching young and old.
Yeah.
He was doing summer camps up until, I would imagine, up until this point.
Yes.
But he really, he's awesome. So that's cool. And look at that. You've had the opportunity to work with some of the world's best
coaches
at such a young age. And so you can't say you know it all, because none of us do, right? But
I still don't know it all. I wish. That'd be great, but it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, it's probably amazing that every time you work with them or someone else, you're being exposed to something else. Right. And of course, as a teenager, your body's changing, so your game is changing. And so here we are today. What does that look like tomorrow? And so learning from the best has to mean something to you too. Having the ability to be the best. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's honestly amazing to like be able to work with Baker for this long, and like he's also seen my game since the very beginning when I was 80 pounds, 4'8", and now I'm like, I don't know, 5'8", 150 pounds, and like it's crazy that he's watched my game evolve and helped it ever since then. So like that is awesome from his end, no matter what.
Your most memorable experience bowling for Team USA so far?
I would say it was the World Championships in Hong Kong when we won the gold medal. We were young kids, So again, same thing. We're all young. We don't know what's going on. We're just happy to be there, honestly. Like, we didn't know what we were going to do. And they had won the previous year. It was like Marshall, Chris Vi, Zach Hattori, and Andrew Koff. And Rod said, you want to be on this wall, you got to earn it. You got to work hard and you got to earn it like the rest of them have before you. And they're like, hey, you know, you guys are going to go. We have a chance at repeating this title. Like, good luck, do your best. But, you know, now you got the burden on your shoulder. You're like, oh crap, we gotta try to be as good as those guys. And we start the tournament terrible. A 4-person team, I think we shot like 730. And we're like, oh no, this is where it unfolds. This is where we like don't make a cut or anything. And we worked together. Rod had a little talk with us. We started working together, and I think we broke some records in the team scoring, and it just clicked from there. And then when we won the gold medal, it was like all this work that we put in to be with each other and practice like paid off. We just got a gold medal for our country, and that's the whole goal. That's the goal with the Team USA program. It's the team gold medal. Like, singles is cool, doubles is cool, all the other ones are cool, but it's the team gold medal. That's what we show up for. We wait for that one moment, that one event to try to represent our country and do the right thing, and we did it. And that, to me, will be the one that like sticks with me for all my Team USA moments.
Another world-class coach he got to work with, Ron Ross.
Yeah.
You've had them all.
And you talked about the wall, and so correct me if I'm wrong. You're talking about the wall in the training center in the meeting room.
That's exactly it. Where he has all the world champions from the men's, the women's, the youth boys and girls. Like, there's like maybe 15, 20 of them at the time, like pictures. And you just look at them in the wall when you're sitting in that meeting room and getting yelled at by the coaches. Okay, they don't yell, but, you know, in my opinion, they yell. But you're looking at it and you're like, I want to be up there. I want to be like those people that are on that wall. So, you know, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, I believe that's the Walter Ray Williams conference room. And when you're in the training center and you enter that room, just being there for a different ring, but being an athlete, to your point, I think that's an experience. It's an experience in itself, because you said it. You're looking at this wall of these bowlers, and only the gold medalists are on that wall, right?
Gold medal team, yep.
Mm-hmm. And then there are bowling pins that surround the. We're gonna have to show a picture because it's pretty cool. Yeah. The outline of the room has all bowling pins, and it's all the teams over the years. It's really cool, but to be an athlete sitting in that room and looking up.
It's a different perspective. Yeah. I've been to the training center too, and it's just being and kind of immersed in that experience it's something else. And as like you said, as an athlete, your whole perspective is different. And like, because you're a part of it. You know, this is what I'm here for. You know, so
I get to wear the same jersey as all these guys. Right?
And you know, when we went, you know, there were other sports there too, and to kind of feel that bowling holds the same weight on that training center like all the other sports do was pretty cool. That was an amazing place.
There's a pretty specific question here.
No, I'm just kidding. I love Bradley. It was a cool year. It was Cameron Doyle, myself, Brad Krause, and my roommate from my freshman year, Lucas Pajakovic, and it was really awesome. We all had the same goal of like working out, bowling, you know, doing schoolwork. I mean, Brad might say his schoolwork wasn't the best, but surprisingly, he actually did really well in school during his time there. So like, even it shocked all of us. But no, Brad was awesome. His buddies that I like ended up meeting and, you know, talking to and hanging out with, it was pretty cool. We had a great time at Wichita that year. That's really cool.
And now that you mentioned those names, I can only imagine.
Yes.
So it's funny because you have to take that in perspective. You are going to this university for a specific program, and knowing those coaches, they're tough on you guys. You know, you have to excel. They want you to excel in the sport to the best of your ability, but they want you to excel in your schoolwork. So that balance certainly isn't easy.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy too? Coach V had more pride in being and having academic All-Americans than he did in our bowling accolades.
Well, and that says a lot for the program. And you think about it's his job to create people, right? It's part of the motto. It's part of what they do, which is cool. I was going to go back to the roommates. We'll leave that alone.
Okay.
Some stories should never be told, Wesley. Remember, don't give up all your stories.
No.
Maybe in private.
Yeah.
So, and getting to travel, that whole experience is awesome, and you hear that a lot from the athletes. Hey, all right. So you are quite fresh off 900 series, and I don't want to. You are one of the youngest to achieve this. I'm not talking about the fake ones. I'm talking about the real ones. We'll leave it at that. And so, besides that, are you the youngest, or?
I'm not sure. I never found out, honestly.
Okay, I didn't look at the list, but we should look at the list from the ages. So, of one of the youngest, coming off, we were talking about earlier, not being able to bowl, then going to practice, and here you are. You go to bowl an event in Phoenix. Now, this is a tournament.
This is a tournament, 10-gamer.
The 10-gamer tournament. What I want to know, did you change lanes after each game?
Changed after 2. So the 10-gamer went, you bowled 2 games, then you move to the next pair. 2 games, then to the next pair after that.
Okay, so somebody could say, yeah, you bowled 300 on it. And how many bowlers on a pair?
2.
So that's what they would do with distancing. So 2 bowlers on a pair. All right. And so you bowl the first 300. All right. Yeah. Hey, great. Wonderful. Right. All right. You start in the second game. You get halfway through. What's going on in your head? Take us back.
Okay. Halfway through the second game, I still wasn't thinking of anything. I was like, because the leader, it was like a month-long tournament that they were running, and the leader was at 616 over for 10 games.
Wow.
Like, that's an astronomical number. That's a lot of pins. That's over a 250 average. And it's handicap, so obviously you get a little handicap and that helps. But, I'm a scratch bowler, so 616 is a lot. That's a record kind of day, in my opinion. And so my goal was just to keep striking and get to that number. So it didn't hit me. It actually hit me the 7th frame of the 3rd game. But when I shot the second one, everyone's like, good job, way to go, good bowling. And I'm like, thanks. Like, it's cool. Like, I never shot back-to-back 300s. So to me, that was actually very, very cool. And it honestly didn't hit me until the 7th frame when I'm looking up and I'm like, I have 31 in a row. I think my math is right. Something like that. But
I haven't left the 7th pin. I haven't left anything.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, shoot, maybe I have a chance at 900 here. Like, I could be in the history books. And so then that's when it, like, hit me. And then that's when I was like, maybe I should slow my process down. Because, like, I was just kind of going up there, just wipe the ball with the towel, throw my shot, just do my normal thing. But I was like, it doesn't really matter. It's just 10-gamer. It's just for fun anyways. And then I'm like, maybe I should actually focus. And that's when it hit me. And then I kind of threw a bad shot. That was the worst shot I threw in the 36 shots. I threw a bad shot. I got lucky. And I'm like, wow, this is fate now. This is someone telling me that I have a chance at 900 and to shoot it. And so then it kept going. And then it really hit me in the 10th frame. The 10th frame is when I was like, I need 3 strikes. I'm in history books forever. And so I took the longest time I've ever bowled on a 10th frame in my life on that 10th frame. And I was getting tunnel vision. I was like wiping my ball. I was taking my deep breaths. I was like, all right, make your best shot. Here we go. Let's see what happens. And that's when it kind of kicked in. And that's when I started thinking about it the most.
So I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
So did you skip the pair in between? Did you
after 2 games?
So
did you follow the same? Did you follow the same bowlers?
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Did you have to make any adjustments going into the 3rd game, or was the pair basically the same?
No, I did have to make small adjustments. It was minor, but it was still adjustments. I'm left-handed too, so lefties don't technically make adjustments. But I was following a lady. She was left-handed, so I was like, man, either this pair is going to be really blended, or they're going to kind of get a little tighter. So I threw the first shot, and it like half 10 and fell. Like it was a little light. So I was like, okay, maybe just rotate the ball a little more and keep it a little slower so it at least comes off the spot better. And that was like the only adjustment I really made. And then it just worked from there. It just fell through. They were close. They were very similar, but I thought they were just a little bit tighter because she got 2 games plus her 10 minutes of practice. So I was like, all right, well, there's got to be something. It might not be crazy because it's not urethane bowling ball, so it didn't change my lane that much. But there's still a change. She's got time. She's got over 30 shots on this pair to change how it's going to work. So
this was the first 3 games. I'm sorry. So this is the first 3 games of the event. Yeah. So you're on 10 minutes fresh.
Right.
First 2 games and then move.
Yeah.
And I think that's that's in itself an achievement, because you've got, you know, you could burn the same pair, right? You could just keep running on your pair, and on league night it's so different. You've got anywhere from 6 to 10 people on a pair, and anything goes, right? So here, 2 people on a pair, and a transition is different in itself with 2 people, let alone now moving to a pair. And you said following a lady who's gonna certainly play the lane very differently than you are.
Yep, exactly.
So
quite a feat.
You make the phone call. Hey, I just bowled 900. Did anybody believe you?
No, I don't think my mom believed me. This is the best part. This is the thing that like we've been talking about here in Arizona. After the first game, my mom doesn't know I actually bowled this tournament, because I actually was supposed to bowl a regional that weekend. California got closed down, so I flew down here because my buddies, Mike Calderon at B3 and Cortez Shank and his dad, they're like, come here, go practice. You need to work on your game anyways. I'm like, okay, fine. I made a last minute decision, got off a plane, and went to bowl his 10 gamer with my buddy. And so I'm just like, there's no preparation for any of this. I wasn't even supposed to bowl at all. I'm kind of losing my train of thought here. I'm like talking everywhere. But,
you're good.
It's okay.
But, yeah,
so,
but
your mom didn't believe, she didn't know you were bowling.
Yeah. That's what. Yeah, can I take 1 minute break and go get a computer charger, and then I'll tell you the story. Okay, cool.
We talk about keeping it real here. Wesley's helped keeping it real here.
It's so refreshing to talk to a young man who is grounded and humble, and still has some, already at the age of 23, has a very, very impressive little.
So you can tell he's not home because there's no trophy case behind him, and there are no medals hanging on the wall, which most people do sit in their space, and you see it, which is cool.
Yeah,
you get to see the inner sanctum. All right, so now that you're charged up, now you were talking you're getting to we're talking about calling mom.
Right.
Yep. So I sent mom a text after the first game. I said, I just bowled 300. I sent her the video. All right. She says, thanks, good bowl. I'm like, that's just how my mom is. She doesn't say very much. I shoot the next 300. I get the video and I send it to her. And I said, just shot another 300. This is cool. Bowl the game. And I'm telling my buddy that I'm bowling with. I'm like, my mom didn't even respond back. She's usually on her phone, like whether she's like on YouTube or something. She's usually saying something. And so then, like, I text her after the 900, like, everything settles down. I get the video, and I send it to her. I'm like, Mom, I just shot 900. This is crazy. Doesn't respond to me. She doesn't respond to me. And so she doesn't send me a text for the rest of the tournament. She doesn't say anything. I'm like, is my mom okay? Like, maybe she would say at least, like, congrats, good bowling. It's a cool feat. So she calls me, or I call her after. I'm like, Mom, I shot 900. I didn't win the tournament, but I shot 900. Like, that's crazy. She said, oh, go get a printout for me. Good bowling, good job. Enjoy your time in Arizona. And then she like
get a printout.
And I'm like, thanks, Mom. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Like, oh my God, I just shot 900. You're just like, good bowling. Enjoy your time. I need a printout.
It wasn't real until the press release came out, and it's funny because I got a text message from Andrew Kane telling us that it happened. And then within moments, I know Lucas Weissman had tweeted at the same time, and then the story broke the next day, which was exciting because one, it's for on the East Coast, it's nighttime, and so people are like, wait, at 11 o'clock at night, what the hell's going on here? But it was certainly awesome to see, and not only listen, that's the ultimate feat, right? For a bowler, 3 perfect games in a row, when only 20. What number are you?
I think it's 30. If I remember reading it correctly, it's like 37.
37. Okay.
Could technically be 35, but
yeah, that's a different story. We're not going. That's another show. So yeah, 30. So one of the youngest, number 35, 37, whatever the number is. How does that sit with you? So are you okay? Okay.
All right.
Second show in a row, and I don't know what the hell's going on back there. But sound like somebody fell.
So like they were dragging a body or something.
Shh, we don't want to tell people. So,
it's dark back there, dude.
Yes,
so you get this call for an interview. It finally hits, and has it sunk in yet? Has this really sat with you? Is it there? Is it real?
No. I still do my normal thing. I had finals week, so all I was worried about was actually my finals. I was more concerned about my finals. I was like, I didn't shoot 900. It doesn't matter. And I'm getting all these calls and texts like, congrats, dude. Way to go. Like, I'm proud of you. I'm getting interviews. And I'm like, I don't have time for this. Like, I have finals this week. I need to be worried about my finals.
Life still goes on. Life still goes on.
Exactly. Like, I'm not dwelling in that past. Like, it's cool. It's remarkable. It's something that, only so few people have done in bowling's history. And, I did my laundry the same. I went to eat the same. I didn't change anything. But it definitely, like, I thought about it. I was like, man, I did something impeccable today. Like, it blew my mind for sure. But it probably hasn't sunk in. It might not ever sink in. We'll always remember that I am one of the people to shoot 900. Just, it won't be one of those crazy things that I celebrate astronomically by any means.
If you're on a list that'll get published often, every time, and any other time that 900 get hit, it becomes another story, which is cool. What was your high series before this?
I think my highest sanction was 833. I bowled another tournament that wasn't sanctioned, but it was the 3 consecutive set or 3 consecutive games in the beginning, and I think I shot 857, and like I struck a lot. Like, I struck a lot during that tournament for sure. But that was like, those were my 2 high series or high sets, and I never thrown back-to-back 300s. I don't think in my life. So like, that's crazy crazy to think about that. And now I've thrown 3 back-to-back.
Back.
Yeah, I can't even talk about it because I don't even know how to say it.
And so then you tanked. You didn't win the tournament, huh?
No, I stunk. I kind of pulled the normal Wesley in the PBA tour this year, where you bowl good for about a couple of games and then you bowl bad the rest of it.
Let's put that into perspective. He had to shoot 600 over. He bowled 900, and he was only halfway there.
He was only halfway there.
I jokingly said, I need another 900 in order to potentially win this tournament. and I missed. Yeah, and I missed the first one. I like slammed a 10-pin, and I'm like, all right, I'm out of wood. I have no chance now. And that's probably my downfall.
That's crazy. I don't know what's going on here. I had a phone call. Naz had a phone call. He had to get a charger. The phone at Gennaro's is ringing. There's a lot happening today. I don't know what's going on, Wes. Hey, that's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You'll get that ring. You might not wear it. You maybe wear it for a little while because it's pretty cool, or you wear it around your neck.
Yeah.
But that alone is an awesome feat that only 30 so many other people get to talk about it, and that itself is rare. Even in today's game, people talk about how easy it is to roll a 300. It's still a rare feat when you put it into perspective. And so then to go to roll 3 of them in a row,
because
in that environment,
the odds. What are the odds you're going to throw 36 shots, not get wrapped, not get not
or close to getting wrapped?
Right. It's not only, obviously, there's luck involved, but you have to be incredibly good to be able to make that many shots and carry them. I think it's amazing.
All right.
Amazing.
So you talk a little bit about your first year on the tour. Hey, listen, you know damn well it doesn't all happen at once, right?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
You got to work. What's your goal for the remainder of your first, I would say, let's say 2 seasons on the PBA tour? Because there's whatever. I don't know when you're going to be able to all bowl again next. But
yeah.
What's your?
I haven't thought about that yet. I haven't reevaluated because my goal was to make cuts in the beginning. I thought I was a decent bowler, so like make cuts. I'm not expecting shows. I'm not expecting to win. I just want to make cuts. I want to bowl well, and I want to enjoy my time out there. Maybe in my head, so subconsciously, I set the bar a little too high because I definitely got frustrated in the beginning of the year. Like, I would make it out of PTQs, but then I bowl the main event, and then it doesn't roll. It doesn't go very well. And I'm like, all right, well, this stinks. But, the COVID thing happened, and it was kind of good for me. I kind of reevaluated my game. I reevaluated the process and what I'm going to need to do. For the remainder of the year, like, I want to set goals, obviously. Like, I'm going to want to set specific goals that, I can try to reach. But I think it's just to do the same thing and just try to go out there and make cuts. And, if I get a good week, make a show, that'd be awesome. That'd be great. But no matter what I do, the next year and a half, however long this is going to be, it's my learning process. This is my learning years. Like, No one went out on the PBA tour and immediately crushes them and then has a successful career over the long term of time. Like it's an evolution. You got to like go through the works. You got to go through the process to figure it out. And I'm in that mode right now. That's all I'm in. I'm going to enjoy my time. I want to go through the process. I want to learn about what I have to do to succeed. Like that's how everyone is. Belmo didn't become the best bowler overnight. He probably had aspirations to be the best bowler in the world, but it still took him a while. It didn't just happen his first 3 seasons. And then all of a sudden, the World Series, he's just beating everyone's teeth in, making all these shows, leading the world championships. But that was his process, and he learned it from even before that. Because the PBA is such a different environment. It really is an environment like no other. And I've had my encounters of bowling PBA events, like whether it's regionals or majors and stuff. But to do it full time, be on the road all the time, and have to bowl against all of the professionals all the time, it's so different. It is definitely a different space to be in.
Yeah, unless you're Norm Duke at 18 years old, getting out there and then becoming. I mean, there's right. That's the exception of anybody, and that doesn't happen. And then to the point about Jason, the poor guy is having to watch these guys bowl on TV right now, and he can't even get here to bowl. I'm sure it's got to be frustrating for him. And so you talk about it as a young bowler. You took the opportunity to go bowl in regionals and some events, and then even in 19 when you win team trials, right? You beat these guys. Yes, it's not the same as being out on tour, but it is different, I would imagine. So you talk about now going back on tour, bowling on tour, and not being able to, maybe feeling like you can't compete against those guys, but you just beat a bunch of them. Take that. How do you separate that? Because I think there's something to be said for that accomplishment. To bowl your way onto the team, let alone win.
Beating those same guys.
The same group of guys that went out and bowled for the team trials, because not all of them do, but a bunch of them do. And here you go on a regular basis, go out on tour. Okay, now here they all are.
Yeah. I think it's different. The mentality is different because I grew up bowling youth bowling, so now you're bowling youth bowlers. Then you go to college bowling. I was still a youth while I was in college. So now the college bowlers have a different mentality because it's team play, but you're still a little bit of an individual. And then I went to the amateur ranks. Now I'm bowling amateur tournaments against adults. But what I think differentiates, I can't talk now. It's too long in my opinion. Just kidding. I'm kidding. It's great.
Too early.
It is. It's 9 o'clock. You woke me up, or 10 o'clock now. You woke me up. It should be snoozing. No, but it's what's different is that the guys on the PBA tour are bowling for their living. Absolutely. And they're out there to be the best they can be because they are making their money for their household. And when you bowl the amateur ranks, even team trials, like these guys are trying to bowl to represent Team USA in 1 week. But these guys are bowling week in and week out to make a cut, to cash, to get a check, to go home and feed their families. And that, I think, separates that learning curve because now you're worrying about your next check to try to pay the bills. And it makes them a little more, I don't know what the right word is going to be, not conservative, but like they're more focused in on their end goal.
Yeah, sure.
And they're not saying, I can't not cash this week. They need to cash this week. Everyone needs to cash every week. And we're not like golf where the last place guy is going to get a check. Like you need to be in the top 36 in order to get your check. And so that I think is what separated me from them is like, I know this is what I'm doing. So I know I'm bowling for a living. I know the money is you're going to need the money in order to, have the lifestyle you want. But my mentality was I'm still an amateur bowler going out against the big dogs. So it's different. And then when you're there, like those guys have bowled on tour forever. So they know all the ins and outs of what it's like to be on tour, what it's like to prepare your body and your mind for bowling tournaments every weekend. When a situation comes, like you need 3 in the 10th to make a cut, they know it because they know that's what they have to live for. That's what they're trying to do. And I think for me, it's a little different because, I'm just kind of going out there. I'm still going to school. I'm still bowling amateur events. Like I'm kind of just like, just the lower mentality of what the real goal should be.
Yeah. Has mom asked for a dollar amount for the amount of money you got to pay her back when you start winning?
Yeah, I mean, she has access to all my bank accounts. So if I do anything wrong and she sees something unusual, she's gonna be like, "What did you just buy there?" So she actually sees it, and like I don't hide any of the money by any means. Like no, like not to try to like say it in a bad way, but like I don't hide anything. Like she knows what I have, and like if she wants, she can take out whatever she wants. I'm not saying I'm rich by any means, but if she needs $1 or something like that, she can take it out. And then she even like jokes with me because like I got in a wreck. Someone T-boned someone and it wrecked the car I had. So now I had to get a new car. So I got a car and like she takes the money out and then she's like, I'm taking more money out because you owe me. And I'm like, okay.
I love it. You know what? We talk about your mom, but you need a TikTok, you and your mom. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I don't think she liked that very much. she kind of tells me not to put her on social media ever, and I'm like, I respect that. Like, I don't like publicly putting my life out on social media. Like, it's cool. Like, but like, I don't always put everything on social media. I don't feel the need to, you know. But I don't know if she would want to be on a TikTok. I think it'd be cool. I see all these people putting their parents in TikToks, and I'm like, that's cool. And then I'm just like, my mom would probably yell at me if I even put the camera in her face.
Okay, I can see it now. Hey, Wesley, you are awesome. Thank you so much for spending some time with us today. We really appreciate it.
Wesley.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me. It was nice seeing you guys, even though we're not, you know, in person and face to face.
Soon. And we'll see
hopefully soon.
Good luck to you and keep on keeping on.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
Catch you later, Wesley.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
See you later. Bye.
Wesley Lowe.
Wesley Lowe. Well, he's awesome. He really is. I can totally, and he talks about not being out in social media and space, which is a wonderful thing. But I could totally see that those typical Asian family TikToks and him and his mom. I love it. I just found a new one. Yes, I didn't send it to you. I found another one yesterday. It's actually a couple, which I didn't pick up on right away. This Indian girl sings.
Is she
but her
Asian?
Husband?
Is it the girl?
No, she's
amazing?
Indian. She's awesome, but her husband interrupts her.
Oh,
she talks about her. It's basically she calls him dad, but it's her husband being father of the kids, and he interrupts her like while she's singing certain songs and making fun of the lyrics.
Oh, really?
Absolutely hilarious.
Oh, okay. Gotta check it out. I love TikTok. I'll tell you, I spend way too much time on the TikTok.
That's another episode.
There are some talented people and some funny people.
Without a doubt.
And some really should probably just turn the phone off and put it away.
Yeah. So Wesley was talking about not being able to talk, and so it's perfect segue because our meme of the day. Some of these drive me nuts. The phrases people say
I love
incorrectly.
Supposedly. Yes, supposedly. That for all. You know, it's really funny because some of these I actually hear people say on a pretty regular basis, and I'll sit there and I'll just kind of look at them and kind of ask them if that's
irregardless is one of my
regardless.
Oh, and espresso.
You know, I think it's just because people repeat things and they just repeat it from hearing it, not actually knowing what the word is.
Pacific, and a lot. It's funny because these aren't necessarily New York things; they're all over the place. But I find a lot of this to be New Yorkers and the way that we talk. Espresso.
I could care less. I like that one too.
Etc. The one that's missing off this, it says
there's a lot more.
Utmost importance, not utmost importance, is actually saying the word important. Importance. What is that? Importance. Importance. Like there's D's in there. That one drives me nuts too. I need to lay down.
That is important.
Today's meme of the day.
That's a good one. It's
not
good
that we're English majors, but it's just
no, by no means. Although that is my favorite subject. But yeah, there's a lot of misspeaking going on.
And I'm guilty of it too. I mean, by all means.
I think we all do it.
A follow-up, we had our friends, Luann and Doreen on from the St. George Theater. We talked about this the other day. And they are hosting a telethon to support the arts and support the theater. And Sunday, August 2nd, led by Frankie Valli and a bunch of local talent.
It's going to be cool. And you could go to the website and register. And I've already done that. And I'm waiting. And you can already.
I think it's going to be a Zoom thing, right? It's going to be on Zoom.
Yes.
And then you have the opportunity to make a donation. But
yes.
telethon.stgeorgetheater.com. Support the art, support our theater that's currently shuttered down through the beginning of the year. Yeah. And do what we can. I think it's going to be a fun night for sure. Some great entertainment.
They have a lot of people signed up. It's going to be exciting.
Whether they're looking for the free show or not.
They have local people, and they have like Frankie Valli and a couple other big stars. But yeah, I'm very excited to see something happen for our local theater. which is important.
Yes. And it's our,
To our hood.
it's our 25th anniversary. We've been
And
closed,
we've been closed for half of
for
it.
half of it. Here's a photo. This photo,
More than half.
we don't want it to be any longer.
No, we don't want it to be anymore.
But I don't think the king was speaking today, so we're not having any idea. I hate to say that, but I'm just toast. So, photo of the day, 25th anniversary. This one comes from our Assemblywoman Nicole Maliotakis. She sent this yesterday. We lost Regis Philbin this week, and this
cool
is
guy.
back from, look at the date, November 11th. So Veterans Day, 96.
And I remembered a lot of details when you sent me this picture.
You know, when she sent it to me, at first it didn't click. And then as we're sitting there and I'm festering, this is when Regis came to Rabs in 96. They filmed it. They filmed a piece of the show.
Yep.
And one of our league bowlers challenged him, I guess,
Yep.
wrote in and challenged them to a match.
Yep. Anita Criazzo, I believe, I'm 99.999% sure, she challenged him. And she was a funny lady. I lost track of her, but she may be still around locally.
And I was looking at this photo and I'm trying
Oh, there are so many funny. Did you look in the background?
Yes. So I look, Angie Kuko, I believe, is
I
sitting
think
there.
Terry is next there. Is that Terry?
I couldn't tell if that was Terry Miller or not. And
I thought
then,
it was-
is that Lou Vigliotti on the other side of Angie? And then above Regis's head, I have it in me that could be Artie Lazarowitz, but I don't think so. But it's somebody standing.
I don't think so.
I see a mustache.
I can't see the picture.
I can't tell. But we're gonna try to check out this photo and see who's in it. We gotta zoom
And
in.
if you know anybody that was in that picture, send us a little note.
Or
We'd
if
like
you were
to
here,
identify.
if you were
or
here
if you were
for that.
here.
You know, I said to Nazareth, I think what bothers me about this experience, I don't think I have a photo of my dad with Regis.
No.
And if we do, then somewhere along the lines, somewhere.
Yeah, I haven't. I don't think I've ever seen
None
a
of these
picture that.
photos, I don't have any of these photos from that event.
Yeah.
So pretty cool. Rest in peace for sure. I have to say, growing up, watching him on TV, first of all, a New York City icon.
Absolutely. He
a
was
gentleman.
a New York City guy.
A true gentleman. If anybody that you know that happens to have known him, my brother worked at ABC, talked about many times having been around him, and just always hello. Joe Calandrullo had responded to a text message and said the same thing. Always a hello. My brother used to see him in the gym
Oh, that's
at New York Sports Club. We can talk to Joe Cal about it.
We'll talk to
But my brother used to see him at the gym, and you know, that's a sacred place. You don't bother people.
Yep.
And sadly, people would,
Of
and
course.
always took the opportunity to talk to people.
Right.
We loved him. I mean, as a family,
Yep.
he kind of reminded me of my dad a little bit.
He was one of
His
those
personality
guys.
and
Right.
his demeanor.
Right.
So certainly he'll be missed. 88 years young.
It was funny. I watched an interview. They interviewed Kathy Lee on the Today Show this morning, and she had gotten to see him a few days before he passed, I believe. And they made arrangements to meet each other. And his wife Joy had talked about how maybe he wasn't feeling well. And he hadn't really. It made me a little bit sad that she said that he hadn't laughed in a while. But they got together and they
for
had
all
some
people.
laughs. Right, for somebody who enjoyed life so much, that they got together and had some laughs. And, you know, she got to be with him there and have some good time with him.
Funny watching him and Kathy Lee, and then to Kelly.
Definitely totally different personality.
Oh, yeah. But they were great. They were great
They
together.
were-
and even
they
when they
were
disagreed with each other, it
Perfect
was
balance, how they kind of nudged each other at times. And yeah,
and he's created a lot of personalities, especially in New York television.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
that's a good memory that we have here. But if anybody happens to remember that event, you have photos, go dig, go find them. We'd
Yeah,
love
go
to see
find
them.
them. There had to be. There were several people in that crowd that had to have taken a picture.
Well, sadly, a few people definitely are dead.
Well, there's one or two there that are no longer with us.
Yeah,
But
for
somebody
sure.
might have some pictures.
We got to find out. Yeah, so happy Monday.
It was a happy Monday. Wesley was awesome. He
Wesley was
was
certainly awesome.
wonderful.
Hey, don't forget the Pro Shop is open.
Tuesdays and Thursdays, the pro shop is open. Tuesdays, Jimmy is here from 10 to 3, and Thursdays he's here from 1 to 6. And if you don't want to come in or can't make it in on those days, text us or go and click on the link on the Country Pro Shop Facebook page, and you can make a locker dash appointment, and Jimmy will go directly to your locker and take care of whatever you need.
How about that?
How really touchless delivery?
Well, not really.
Well, you don't have to touch a person.
No, but he's.
I mean, if you need bowling ball adjustments,
he's touching your balls.
Right. Jimmy will touch your balls, and you don't have to eat it for it.
That's impressive. You can play with your balls and not be.
I didn't say anything about playing them.
Oh, okay.
I just said that he will touch them.
He'll clean them too.
He will clean them up for you.
In the meantime, it's Monday. We are taking a few day break here.
We are. We are taking a break.
We're going to miss you. We're off Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm taking an opportunity to escape a little bit, which
Frankie
is not
is flying.
I'm not flying.
Fleeing the city.
Fleeing.
He's fleeing.
I'm not going far, so we're going to take a break Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Nazareth's got a bunch of things to do. We're going to go lay in the sun and relax before all of a sudden pandemonium really starts.
Correct.
Take advantage of an opportunity. But we'll be back Friday. And on Friday, we're moving food Thursday to Friday. So we're on the road with Pam Silvestri on Friday
at 12 noon.
At noon, we're going to be at Jay's on the Bay.
I'm excited. I love their food.
I do too. I mean,
we eat their
eclectic everything.
We love their food.
Cool. I like the look. I like the old school diner.
It definitely is, and it's a
retro.
small place.
Yeah.
So it's a very personal service, and it's just a cool place.
So it's cool. Changes here on the show. We are here today. We're gone tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday.
Wednesday, Thursday.
Back on Friday, off for the weekend. And then next week, we're going to kick off the week. Our guests, I don't know if it's Monday or Tuesday. Shannon O'Keefe will be back.
Oh, wonderful.
And she's bringing some friends along to share some news and an announcement that they've project they've been working on. So either Monday or Tuesday, she's going to be back on the show with us.
Also,
and she's bringing her friends.
Also, Chris Keller will be joining us next week.
Chris Keller, the not only a bowling proprietor out of Long Island these days,
he's
the inventor of bowler's tape.
Yes.
New
Chris
Yorker.
Keller, friend to pro shops and bowling centers and bowlers everywhere.
He's a great guy.
He is.
I got to see him this past week. He made the trip up to Ithaca, and he's just talk about knowledge.
So smart.
Great guy, and he's part of the effort to get bowling centers back open.
He's got a beautiful bowling center out on Long Island,
the All Star,
and he did a wonderful video. So if you go to the Facebook page of the All Star and check out his video that he shared on some of the things that they're doing to make bowling safe, it's cool. It's a cool video.
Yeah, and if you happen to check out the article that Joe DiModio wrote, it's a brief look at the things that we're doing here and talking about. Yep. And you just never know. But in the meantime, please
wash your wear your mask. Wash your hands. Oh, this is a funny thing.
Oh,
this is a funny thing.
Chin strap. We're going back to chin straps.
And I'm just going to make this really short. I watched the Jimmy Fallon.
Is Naz going to rant?
No, I'm not going to rant. No. I'm just going to bring something to your attention.
So you watch Jimmy Fallon with his very long hair?
Very long hair.
Like he should get a haircut. Get a haircut.
Yeah. Now he's back in the studio. You know what's really funny? There's a guy on Channel 4 News, the guy with the curly gray hair. He used to have a more closer. His name just went right out of my head. And during the pandemic, he wasn't getting a haircut. But now I think he's decided to kind of leave it long and wavy, which I think some people may be reconsidering their hairdo. Anyway, Jimmy Fallon, at the end of the show, he says, wash your hands, don't touch your face. What do we get that?
Right here on Live from Rabs.
I'm sure we were saying it before.
Since day one. Go back to episode 1, March 21st, with professional bowler Bill O'Neill, back 130-something days ago.
Yes.
What?
Yep. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. What he says.
Naz, that just means that somebody's going to pick us up.
Somebody.
Do we need to write it? Do we need to trademark that? Do we need to trademark the slogan? Do we also need to trademark the music? Because now the music has popped up. And I told you it was another commercial. I couldn't figure it out. I didn't remember. Nazareth heard it. It was the U-Haul commercial. U-Haul commercial. So not only is our music being used for U-Haul and fast signs, oh my God.
It's really funny. I was in the other room, and all of a sudden I heard, dun, dun, dun. I was like, it ran into the room. I was like, what is this?
What is this? In the meantime, please.
I think Wesley,
keep your community clean.
Who is still in the little feed on the bottom, we can still see him. He may be on his 3rd gallon of water right now.
Before he came on, he had the water. It was actually like a milk jug.
Yes, it's a gallon of milk, a gallon jug.
Public service announcement: keep your 18 clean. Keep your sidewalks clean. Newdorp is disgusting again. There's no reason for it. Outside of, why? I don't understand. But anyway. Own your sidewalk.
I got mine nice and
Don't throw your mask and your gloves. Oh, wait, quick. Yeah. I made an appointment today, and the receptionist says to me, we'll see you then. Just so you know, you have to wear your mask. Please don't wear gloves. I said, oh, thank you. So she started laughing, and I said, no, seriously. I'm over the glove thing. I said, people don't realize it makes things work.
It does.
I did them in the beginning just to use the gas tank to the bank, but that was it, and threw them right out. There's no reason you should be wearing gloves all over the place because all you're doing is touching things and you think it's okay.
Yeah.
Wash your damn hands.
Yeah. Wash your hands. People think if they wear the gloves, they don't have to wash their hands.
We commiserated together. It was kind of funny. Yeah. But they're telling, and it's a shame that you have to tell people.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's been real. What are they doing?
I don't know. But they were welding something. They were welding
chains.
I saw
maybe there is a dead body they're moving.
The flashing. Yes.
Oh, God forbid. No. All right. Well, hey, happy Monday. Enjoy the rest of your day.
And enjoy the rest of your week till Friday.
Without us. I don't know what you're going to do for the next few days.
I'm pretty sure
I plan on it. I know what. Naz, I got to sit in the yard the last 2 days.
Me too. I got a little bit
color. Look at you.
Got a little. Even you're gonna have to see Ray.
You wore a hat.
Got a nice little.
Do you wear a hat?
No.
What does he put? Like SPF 50 on?
No, we got the 30.
80.
We got the 30 going. They said anything really more than 50.
It's like wearing 50.
Anyway, just wear because he's relatively fair skinned, but relatively he's a little Casper, the ghost.
He is.
So we put the 30 on him. He goes in the sun. He doesn't stay out and bake for a long time. But I'm happy because he's in fact enjoying the pool. And when we first got it, he loved the pool. He was in there twice a day. And then he got sick. And I'm gonna get choked up now. He wasn't really using the pool. It was something he enjoyed, but now he's back in the pool.
That's awesome.
So I'm very happy. I'm sorry to get you.
I think my pool's in shock. I think actually I could shock my pool when I go in there because I never use my pool, and I've used the pool more now than ever.
Well,
and it's very
the weather has been crazy.
I got tan. I mean, right now you can't really see it, but
the weather's been crazy. I mean, I feel for people who don't have the opportunity to be in a cool place. It doesn't have to be a pool, but to be able to, in this weather, you need to stay hydrated. Be like Wesley and drink your water. Okay, fill up that big gallon jug and try to you should be drinking your body weight in water, in ounces, or half your body weight.
Half your body weight in ounces.
Half your body weight.
Yeah.
If you can
in ounces.
If you can get to your body weight, not in pounds, that would be crazy. Can you imagine?
No. And I drink a lot of water as it is. I imagine if I drank that much, I literally would probably spend all day in the bathroom.
Too much water is not good either. It washes out your electrolytes. But half your body weight in ounces.
And you get life lessons here.
You get it all.
Well, enjoy the rest of your day. Yes. Enjoy the rest of your week. Tell your friends, your family. We'll be back here on Friday. We'll be dining out, talking with Pam. More stuff happening in local business this
week. It's only going to be in the 80s at the end of the week. It's going to be nice.
Lots more happening on the restaurant scene. We'll talk with Pam about it. We'll talk about restaurants. Food. Yes, please. While you have the opportunity, support them as much as you can. They are certainly hurting like everybody else.
Yes, they are.
Somebody, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Because you said it.
We keep trying to end.
Well, that's right. You're not going to get us all week. You know what's... Somebody made a comment on a post about restaurants reopening, and they said, very short-sighted. And of course, not a business-minded person, but basically saying, well, you're not doing the same amount as you don't... If you open up the doors, if you allow indoor dining, you don't have that many people... You think more people are going to come to your restaurant and you're not doing more takeout? Basically comparing takeout and delivery and outdoor dining to an indoor dining. Now, yes, there will be people that will not eat indoors, and I get it. I'm okay. I can't operate my business that way.
Right.
No business was designed to be operated at this capacity. And I was very quick to respond, and I said, you know what, I can't. Sadly, it's very short-sighted to think that way, that yes, people don't, we talked about this Thursday. So if you go back to Thursday's show with Danny, not all food can be transported.
And we went to Ruddy and Dean this weekend, had a wonderful meal upstairs on the terrace. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful night. We talked to some people at the table next to us. We had a physical distancing. But it was really nice. And no, the restaurant isn't made to operate at that capacity. And some restaurants have a great can't think of the word, but they have to overcome getting the food from the kitchen to wherever the seating is.
Right, and then into an aluminum tin or whatever they're using to shop.
Correct. Just because the takeout is very difficult.
Just because a pizzeria does it all constantly doesn't mean that it's the best product.
Not the same.
And many restaurants just want you to get seafood. I mean, it's very difficult. So support the moral of that story is support your local restaurants. Support the businesses that we can during this time to the best of your ability.
Including Gennaro's Pizzeria.
Yes. Who will probably be reopened tomorrow for your delivery and pickup services. Yeah. And pizza, please.
Pizza, and they have a full menu, a pretty full menu. Yes. So, get your pizza.
All right. It's been real. Hit the like button.
This is a figgy.
No, we're not there yet. We could get that long, though. We almost approached 2 hours. Hit the like button, smash it, subscribe, follow, do all those things.
Everything.
And then click on that little bell.
The bell, it's important.
You want to know when Naz and I are here.
Know when we're here.
Or somewhere else. But at least here in Cybervision, whatever you want to call it. And just remember, episode 111, 30-something days later, and we're still at it. 2 hacks from inside the bowling alley. Imagine that. Do you want to know why, Naz? Because we keep it real. We will see you Friday. Naz.
Enjoy your hot week. That was awesome.
Bye, everybody.